Ah, friend. My expression wasn't much better than yours when I first saw this. Your eyes aren't deceiving you. It's her. The famous singer, Robin. Well, first of all, can I just say that this had nothing to do with me? I'm just an unlucky bystander here. The family can testify for me. If you don't believe me, just ask anyone in the Bloodhound family. They hate me and they hate the IPC, so they'd never lie. This is not where the crime happened. What I showed you was a memory. The most basic light cone manifesting tech. Did you really think the Galaxy Ranger was an outsider this whole time? Penacony has made a solemn commitment to protect the safety of anyone inside a family dream. Any person in distress will be forcibly awakened and safely returned to reality. What gives them the confidence to make such conclusive statements? Because behind this promise is the harmony. The family's Dreamweavers link up their minds together to construct an unbreakable defense, breaking through this line of defense to create death in the dreamscape. Not even a memo keeper could do that without the family's permission. Who could have done it, friend? The only one is her. The girl who calls herself a Galaxy Ranger. An imposter, an unsought guest. An emanator who hides her true identity. Ifrit's death was a foregone conclusion. And Robin? Her misfortune was staring right at her. Who will be the next to die? It's fine. Listen to your gut. Building trust always takes time, and I'm willing to wait. I just hope you realize that wherever that legacy is concerned, covert plans are already underway throughout Penacony. Careful you don't get stuck on the wrong side. If I were you, I'd keep my distance from Acheron. After all, any schemes out in the open are always going to be better than a monster in the shadows, right?
Who's to say there isn't an even deeper conspiracy lurking beneath the surface?
Memo Keeper, I think our little deal is...
Aventurine is telling the truth.
The IPC is not the Garden, and there are real limits to... Friend, let's not beat around the bush here. The thing is, I told you, I'm just not interested in scrambling for the legacy. I just came to Penacony for work. I'm here to retrieve some lost... This has all become a bad debt thanks to the cancer of all worlds. The IPC has tried... You have no idea how difficult these people are to deal with. Put it this way, it'll just quietly float off like... That's not fair, right? So, I have but only one goal. The family's front door is like a high wall, and to tear the whole thing down, I'll have to... Now we have our chance. So long as we can get to the truth, but truly a once-in-a-blue-moon opportunity. This tragic news would be extremely bad for the family, but I trust that there are still a few factions that remain exceptions. and that's why I need you all. You get to find out really what happened and seek justice, and I get to put it toward completing my mission. Don't worry, just head back and talk. That navigator is really smart. Oh, and take this. So long, friend. I really...
Aventurine just sauntered off.
What now? What are you...
Black Swan.
On the surface, this doesn't look like a bad deal for you. He doesn't know about Miss Firefly yet. But, judging by your reaction, he may have noticed something going on. That's quick thinking and very sound logic. But you're talking about Anyway, be careful out there. There's more than one. As for the other questions... I'm not sure the two cases were committed by the same culprit, but that massive wound looked. Plus, it seems unlikely that there would be two lethal. Sorry, I can't answer that question. That ranger is shrouded, but without a doubt, she is the most special. Two victims appearing one after the other in a very short... Two possibilities. The collapse of Penacony's dreamscape has started speeding up, making death, if someone has chosen these victims deliberately. First, a stowaway, then a family. It's all happened so quickly, I can only make conjecture. Come, this way. It's a short walk. Don't get lost. This way. This, unfortunately, the remembrance doesn't lie. But follow your heart and don't. Hold on just a There you go. A small parting gift. I also pay great attention to the ways of. Then, I've something private. What fascinating memories will you.
A family rep. Is Himiko okay? So much has happened.
Better unsheath that blade now, Ranger.
Do you still dream, Hunter? Of those slain by your hand?
It appears the outcome has already been determined.
You're still alive, as are you. You still have room to make a choice. Leave the music box behind, and then go.
Choice. The bloody trail of the destruction leaves no room for hesitation.
Vatora's fire demon. Even if you sacrifice your life for that eon, you won't get to—
Ranger, you tread the narrow path. We come from the fire, and are born be. Burning forms the entire life of a fire demon. From the beginning to the end.
Your companions don't seem to think so. They fight for your chance at survival.
They are my children, and just as I was, but my flames are faint, and time is running out.
Why?
Because on the path they have fallen, Emanator, you cannot hide. Your destruction is intense.
Even if the answer—
What is important is not the answer. Just as even sweet dreams may be.
all right. I accept.
You shall witness the
A bottomless dream. This blade remains in its scabbard not out of pity. I'll reveal the truth to you. The hunt is not the path I— May death be the end of guiding you back to the waking. I still see them in my dreams. Hold it. Your time hasn't come yet. I've seen many clever disguises that can conceal appearances, but they can never cover up who a person really is. You had no desire to kill the Trailblazer. You only did what you did. Did Destiny's slave make you do it?
You know,
I thought this is just the kind of thing that'd get written.
my script has always been brief. Other than that, anything beyond, he knows my nature. There is, however, you,
Not your enemy, perhaps.
that's not.
I don't deserve your curiosity. Loners wandering the cosmos always have their secrets. take me. I've also been wanted by the IPC, so maybe I can help.
What reason would you have for doing that?
I tend to forget things. Which is why, rather than memories, I'm accustomed to using my emotions to capture what I normally wouldn't otherwise. So, I know who is inside that cold armor. How about it? Ready to take off that armor and sit down for a talk?
It's not yet time. I don't need help. But I can. If your goal is the Watchmaker's legacy, then go look into the family. Not only are they covering up the existence of death, but they're burying the past and the truth about what happens inside the dreamscape.
Already on it.
And the Astral Express is no enemy.
I know that. I just never expected to hear you say it. What's next then? The Trailblazer's been taken by Black Swan. Will you go
No need for that. No harm in mentioning that Elio's only given me one I tried settling this in an easier and more direct way. But as you can see, here I am, confronting you.
The so-called impossible is merely something that has yet to happen. That's it. Before we split, is there anything else in your script about me? I'd like to know what kind of footnote I get to leave in that future foreseen by destiny.
Unfortunately, not a thing came up. Hang on.
Don't. What?
Your first question was, do you still have dreams? I don't. Never have. I was born without the ability to dream. I live for this cold, harsh reality. For a little light. And to burn. To keep on burning. Until I turn to... So...
Is that so? Then you're already living in the waking world.
We heard about Miss Firefly.
I'm sorry.
Reality cruises on in serenity, while undercurrents bubble. Stay strong, everyone. We can still...
Let's recap everything then. The Trailblazer just reminded...
Indeed, we trust that the Nameless has nothing to do with this. And
Looking back, he seemed a little evasive.
the family's planning on covering up all news about Miss Robin's death.
But the murder that followed closely after was obviously beyond their anticipation. The family had to try and turn things to their...
It may also be that Miss Firefly's murder had so many witnesses that it couldn't be covered up. After all, the nature of the two murders is fundamentally different.
Indeed, he was...
Are we missing the forest for the trees here?
At this point, I'm afraid...
Look, let's try to gather intel first and then list all the possible outcomes we can. I've still got this sense of
This time we're playing the role of a real detective.
As I see things, the family harbors no ill will towards the Astral Express. If they didn't trust the crew, they wouldn't have casual. Plus, this is the family's turf. As for that Aventurine...
He's complex. He deliberately slow-played his hand during negotiations while running... He appealed convincingly to both reason and... Still, it's good to have contacts among all this uncertainty. Eventually, we also need to keep a certain distance from the family. Never let them get too close.
So, you suggest...
Yes. It's risky, but we can only wait.
I get why, but there's a whole lot of bad guys and girls around here, and I'm worried about... You're like a bro... forget about it. Just let...
Then, could you please reply to Aventurine? Everyone.
Looks like Aventurine is happy with this outcome. Let's tell everyone about it.
Aventurine's goal is to try and recapture Penacony for IPC. The existence of death will be covered up by the family. So how does he plan? An attack on the hotel guests? Unlikely. Penacony's guest. Aventurine has devoted considerable attention to... He's definitely going for the family, and it's just a matter of how. I was also considering this possibility. Especially... I'm just speculating. He's clearly a born gambler.
Aventurine said something that he accused that Galaxy Ranger of killing Robin without any evidence whatsoever, but said nothing. It was a groundless accusation. Maybe Aventurine's goal was never to gain our trust. Maybe he wanted to foster a fear. However, I asked Dan Heng back on the Express to confirm that. You've met her many times now. That fits the stereotype. They're eccentric, unpredictable, and...
I really love clocking.
Checked off the list.
I hope it's not too soon to bring it up. But because... aren't we supposed to be inside a dream? Whenever I see... Yeah, of course. At times, everyone's still having a great time out there on the streets. Aw, what a mess. But then I...
Looks like Aventurine doesn't need anything else. Let's turn our attention...
Among our current clues, the two murders that he witnessed are the most direct. One thing I'm curious about is, if a person dies in a dream, what happens to them in real life? See,
How about we split off into two groups?
worth focusing on.
Huh? Aw, I thought...
I will. Honored guest, could you come out for a second?
I'd be embarrassed too, getting
Forgive me. My name is Welt Yang. I'm one of the crew members.
Welt.
Is there something about my...
First, don't you want to know my name?
I already do, Miss Acheron.
What are they saying about me?
Some claim that you're the real culprit behind these murders. That the Annihilation Gang's tragic fate at the banquet was a result of your blade.
The Annihilation Gang.
Ifrit of Everflame.
Tragic fate. That Duke turned his dying body to flames and sacrificed his life as a martyr. He was a determined and heroic pathstrider. Not even a villain should be disparaged like this. And what's more, there were plenty of suspects invited. Do they really think that a blade is more dangerous than that black hole?
Keen intuition. Not even the family managed to point out the truth behind this cane. So you must surely know, Miss Acheron, that peering into a black hole is not a wise move. As a potential threat, your knowledge of reveal your true identity and intentions. Otherwise, brace yourself for gravitation.
That shouldn't be necessary. But if it makes the... Believe it or not, Galaxy Ranger, Acheron. Those are the names I go by to this very day. My trip to Penacony is so... I'm here for the Watchmaker's legacy. And that's it.
Still unwilling to reveal your...
It's not that I don't want to. It's just that I can't. I've come so far, and I can't sum up all of that in just a few words. Everyone has their own unspeakable past. Secrets that they don't want to be revealed. And I won't be asking any more questions, such as why the Is he okay? That memo keeper...
He's fine. Let's stick with the topic. Gaining my trust all depends on how much you're willing to...
I've run around many different Penacony dreamscapes just to try and find that legacy. And during this period, I came into contact with quite a few guests. In the process, I gradually came to realize the secret of Penacony may be closely related to the That's why I've come to ask for your help. I don't have enough proof yet, but I'd like to speculate something. The source of all tragedy lies within the family. If you could trust me, we could find the proof to support this claim. Mr. Yang, I think...
Let's leave it at that. For now, share your findings with me and me alone. I don't want vague conjecture to interfere with other people's judgments before we find solid proof.
By the way, would you like something to drink? Before we go, how about 2 cups of Wake the Heck Up? Because the conversation coming up...
I've been watching her closely for a while now, and that she just sat in one corner, keeping silent, chugging down a couple cups of Wake the Heck Up.
Really? But
The guest rooms are charmingly minimalist. An aesthetic you share, Miss Ack. It's a cinch. This music box. The invitation received by the Annihilation Gang. You see, memories of you are not yours alone. They travel in other people, other things. I know much, and I can predict. The Annihilation Gang, that band of desperados who all disappeared after meeting you. What exactly happened to them?
Gradation 12.
Well done.
There it is. It's hazy, but it's Ifrit's voice. This is the residual memory from when the invitation was first delivered. They were abruptly interrupted.
They sought refuge in the land of sleep, merely wishing for undisturbed rest, away from the storms. Children of the flame, this marks your rite of passage.
She won't be necessary. I alone am enough.
When have those on the path of...
The Everflame Mansion has set out on a journey. Those poor people, they have no idea what lies in wait ahead of them. Memory recovery is going well, but slowly. She'll be here soon, and time is short. There's nobody else here, so there's no need to be delicate. In fact, I think I'd better go all out. What happened? the memory after that is blank. How is that possible? This music box fell into Acheron's hands, and she brought it to Penacony. It's like it's been erased.
Who are you? Who are you?
It's... No.
Oh, a memo keeper. Do you serve? My name is Constance. A pleasure to meet you. We were supposed to meet in Penacony and spend an unforgettable time. But that seems unrealistic. Dolly is not welcome on the banquet star, and I don't need a coming-of-age ceremony. And you want her secret? I can give it to you, and then you can enjoy the banquet for me. I wish you
Oh. A phone.
A few days ago, under the watchful guidance of the Marketing Development Department, and in accordance with the Interstellar Peace Charter, the formation of the Sigonian sovereignty is...
Sigonia 4 is located in an unclaimed zone at the intersection of the Denise Pruthi. This is why very few intelligent species have made this planet their home, dividing themselves into several tribes to eke out nomad lifestyles as they struggle to survive the...
Sigonia. Land of rock, but not water. Lightning, but not... You promised us a land. When you took his father, my child was... I don't ask for a peaceful death. Just for you to tell me. Otherwise...
Mommy, the rain... It is raining. It's true. Those Outworlders...
Such a lot... Let you and your schemes...
Oh, heavens. I must have drunk too much.
Just as you guessed. Nobody outside knows about Robin's death. There aren't even baseless conspiracy theories.
Of course. Who could imagine that death would actually descend upon the idyllic dream? To be honest with you, I didn't believe it. I even tested it a few times myself. Until I discovered that that's why I'm convinced that there are...
Then you must have heard about the Memory Zone meme. When I graciously deigned to establish connections with the... Besides Robin, there was... another body.
2 murder cases? This murderer is a psycho. I have to say... it's just that their trickery runs deeper than I thought. What should we do?
Incredible gambling.
There are plenty of chips, but it'd be... Robin is what she calls the mute. She has lost her voice, and while most people can't pick up on it, you and I cannot mistake that sound. Not produced by... If that girl hadn't gone hoarse from singing practice, there'd only be one possibility. Something was up with the but she died.
A complete and utter loss. There were eyewitnesses at the scene, and the family, in their graciousness...
Well, things aren't looking too optimistic, Doc.
A probability. But if you simply can't control yourself, that man wants to see you again.
Who?
Sunday.
Is this a public hearing?
If it were the former, it would hardly befit...
Fine. Ratio, I'm convinced now that... without any further ado, let's set up.
We're here.
Fortress?
This mansion nominally belongs to...
Hey, Doc, whose side are you on?
Who's to say I won't sell you out?
We'll see.
Follow me, and I'll bring you to his parlor.